Now, audiobook related news.
Yes.
And this is news, and it is wild news. But I saw on TikTok a video by the content creator Jessica Dawn. I've included a link in the video's description so you can watch her video. But also behind her, right, as a part of her TikTok, she did a screen grab from thebookseller.com. And the headline is Audible to use AI technology to produce audiobooks. And this is a very serious and real thing. And I'm just going to give you a quick summary on what, people are saying. So essentially, Audible announced it will roll out over 100 AI generated voices in English, Spanish, French, and Italian for new audiobooks. Publishers can hand over production completely to Audible's AI team or run it themselves with a self-service option. So before the year's end, meaning before 2025's end, AI-driven translations will follow. So you're going to have complete options to have human linguists to double check the accuracy, but you can just do a couple clicks and have AI completely translated as well. The Audible CEO frames this as a chance to expand audiobook availability across languages and reach more listeners than ever. AI narration, they're saying, will also streamline production, cut costs, turnaround time, and also provide titles in audio form that would otherwise not have an audiobook version. This has also spread. More people are reporting on this, including The Guardian as well. But Francesca, what are your immediate reactions? I know we often say, because we talk every day, we co-work every day, technology is undefeated. Like, we can't hold back the gates of AI.
Yeah.
But is this too much, too fast? What is going on? Part of me also thinks, I know some self-published authors who don't have the audiobook capabilities, meaning, funding to do this and all that stuff. It would be great for production. But I'm also thinking about the audiobook narrators as well and people in the industry. And most importantly, translation, because I read a lot of books in translation. And I'm just going to let you all know real quick, a word for word translation isn't the best. It doesn't read the best. You need someone who also understands the cultural nuances, because sometimes one word, which will translate to be this equivalent, doesn't necessarily mean that, but you need a speaker who understands the language and say, look, even though it translates directly to X, it actually means Y. And I know you're multilingual as well. What are your thoughts on just the AI, one, narrating books in English to begin with, but then also before year's end, they're saying, hey, we're going to be doing translations too.
Yeah, I think that the biggest issue is the fact that narrating audiobooks, it's a form of acting, and it's a whole field. There should be artists doing that work. And no matter what kind of audiobook, doesn't matter the genre, you are getting a performance usually when you're listening to an audiobook. Yes, maybe an AI will be able at some point, I don't think now, but at some point it might be able to pick up on those nuances and give you a bit more emotion. But you're still really, I feel like you're still going to get the best experience of what an audiobook should be giving you if you are working with an actual person, an actual human that understands the content of the book, that understands the personalities of the characters. They're going to give you different personalities usually. A good narrator will do that. And that is a lot of times what makes an audiobook good, in the sense of, oh, I would rather listen to this on audio than pick up an actual physical copy and read it. So I think that will do some damage. In terms of cost and production, there are ways that authors can get their books published and things like that for audio. Will that mean that they're losing some more royalties? Yes, because basically they could do an agreement with an audiobook narrator where they're not putting out that kind of money up front, and it's more of it's going to be, you get this much royalties, and the production house, which I mean, that's usually will be Amazon, because they have the ACX platform, which you can go on there and request for an audiobook. So there's ways of how much that could cost is upfront. So I think that in a way, if you're just doing it for the cost, I don't know that a lot of authors will be jumping on it. There will always be the ones. I don't know if this is the best use of AI technology, because whenever you're trying to infringe AI technology into something that should be a form of art, I don't think that's the best use of it.
It goes back to what I was saying before. Technology is undefeated. I know people will use it, and I think it can work. I just don't want a sea of audiobook narration, because then things are going to be lost. Everything's going to be bland. Like I said, as a person who reads a lot of translated works, I know the power of just reading good translation. And I also know the power of listening to a good audiobook narrator. They're acting, they're the comedic moments, the pauses, the seriousness. It's like tone, everything shifting. And sure, they can probably teach the AI that, but we can't just have a sea of audiobook narration. But again, we'd love to hear from you. So share your thoughts in the comments as well.